was the second.
He didn't play against Chicago State. Woods. He was out due to COVID protocol. Blacksher, meanwhile, exploded for 24. Cougars and the Antelopes for the final time with both teams in the WAC. And we're so glad to have you with us here on ESPN+. This is Sean Miller-Moore back to Woods. Played at Arizona State last year. Splits the D, turns it over to Ouedraogo. And the Frenchman, he misses the bucket.
And then the Chicago State's Frenchman, but Teddy Bayi-Bamandane got the rebound.
There's a battle of Frenchmen, 24 on 22 in the paint. Teddy's from Paris and Ivan from Bordeaux, the wine capital. There's a foul, goes against Miller-Moore. Jashawn Corbett for Chicago State drawing it, and there you see our what to watch for. Already a historic season for Chicago State and second meeting of the year.
Exactly. The difference for Chicago State, however, they will not have Ali Deba, who we know is out with the wrist injury, made his debut in that game against Grand Canyon University. Watch for Jashawn Corbett to really be that second scorer aside from that guy, Brandon Betson.
Here's Corian Russian bobbling it, and a steal for McLaughlin. Grand Canyon, top defensive team in the WAC, allows just 62 points per game. And that's Sean Miller-Moore, second-year returner, with the first bucket.
I really like Sean Miller-Moore's game, his ability to play as a 3-and-D guy sometimes, but he's really smart at doing the small things, diving to the basket, or that time just getting the ball and hitting the floater.
He's coming off a long night. He had to guard Teddy Allen Saturday as Betson misses. The board for Russian and the putback.
Good crash of the glass by Corian Russian, but going back to what you said about Sean Miller-Moore, that's what I mean by he does all the small things. You had to guard possibly the Conference Player of the Year last time out, and now he's going to create offense from the corner.
And there he is in the corner, firing off to Woods. Grand Canyon coming in fifth in the WAC, looking for 10 conference wins. Here's Ouedraogo, and a foul on the ground. We'll stay here.
Corian Russian allowed himself to go up against Ouedraogo down there on the block. Unfortunately for Corian, he'll pick up the foul. Interesting to see how Corian's confidence has been affected. He's had some really rough games offensively here at the JCC, and then the turnover on the first trip.
He was a key cog on December 30th down in Phoenix. Against these guys, 16 points, 9 boards. Holland Woods, fadeaway, swirls in.
Holland Woods, I think Javon Blacksher, he's the best shooter on this team, but visually, Holland Woods, the second, is the best scorer. This guy can score at all three levels. Not the best shooter, but inside the arc, definitely a threat.
Holland Woods out of Phoenix, now gets to play right in his hometown at Grand Canyon. Brandon Betson, meanwhile, Bay Area native here in Chicago. Off to Johnson. Russian on the drive, and great straight-up defense by McLaughlin.
McLaughlin protecting the rim there. But I like Corian's aggressiveness here, putting the ball on the floor, trying to score. And now you notice Gerald Gillian, the chess match begins as King BG, Noah BG Rumwami checks in, gives Chicago State the size advantage.
That's 25 in the light gray. We have 2 shades of gray today.
Right.
So BG, the 6'10" center, on Miller-Moore. And we got a stoppage real quick.
I don't think the clock started. So when the ball came in to BG Rumwami, the shot clock did not start. So the officials are going to stop it. I thought I saw one of them throw up 3 fingers. So they're going to take 2 seconds off the catch. So Chicago State will have 3 seconds to get this in. Actually going to put 4 on the clock now.
So that would be 4 fingers.
Yeah, we have one official near us. He put up 3. The official that went over, I think he might have said 4. That's why we're having this conference here at the table.
Whose fingers are correct? 3 or 4? There's 4 fingers. All right, we're sticking with 4.
Finally a consensus.
So 4 to shoot. Here's Russian. Lets it fly and sinks it from the corner.
He shot that in 2. Let it go from 3-point land. Corian Russian, not really a 3-point shooter, but that's a good sign for the Cougars moving forward.
Russian, the Chicago native. And there's the slam, Sean Miller-Moore, after the Russian bucket.
Man, I really just like his game. Like I said, sometimes can defer to being a 3-and-D guy, but he does all the small things well. He can play in the post, and the athleticism on display there for the alley-oop.
Yeah, Miller-Moore, one of the top athletes in the conference, as Betson works at the top. Betson, a fadeaway off the front end, and Miller-Moore, an emphatic board. Long pass to Blacksher. Holland Woods, another one of the WAC's top shooters, carves in. McLaughlin, a 3. That's off. Board to Russian.
not the big man you want to worry about for GCU shooting the ball. You'll see more of that with Tayshawn Cherry off the bench, 35.
And McLaughlin has worked a lot on the three. He shot just 15 of them last year. And this year he's been a regular shooter, 34%. But the highlight is the guards. And here's Russian for the Cougars. Driving kick. Corbett a three ball. Little strong, and the board goes to the Frenchman, Ouedraogo.
3.5 minutes, still no points for Corbett. He usually starts the game off with a corner three.
Yeah, 11 games this year he's scored first, and there's Blacksher missing. Corbett clears.
Watch that guard matchup with Blacksher and Betson. They're both going to actually have to defend the entire game. Somebody that can also score from the distance and drive downhill.
The whip down low. Bailly handles it. Gets it back to Russian. Corian with a mismatch. BG gives it up. It's Corbett. In and out.
I like the extra pass there from BG Rumwami. I know he works on the outside shot, but still doesn't have the game timing down yet this season.
Yeah, he got the open look with Corbett, someone who's been pretty knocked down this year, especially first 5 minutes, right?
Right, he's literally on his first 2 attempts.
There's Miller Moore, crosses up Bailly, Indianapolis, to celebrate the national championship with his brother. Pretty cool reason to go. Hey, my brother just won the title. So here's Sean Miller Moore out of the timeout. He was fouled by Teddy Bailly Bamandang. And Miller Moore's a 60% free throw shooter. We'll have a laser eye on the battle at the line today. Grand Canyon and Chicago State both bottom 3 in the WAC in free throw shooting. And on cue a miss, but how about an offensive board for Tayshawn Cherry? Now a 3-ball, little strong from McMillan. And another chance.
They really like Tayshawn Cherry, his ability to get on the glass. Also, he's a stretch shooter. Might let it fly here. Gave it up instead.
Holland Woods slicing in. That's the Arizona State transfer who's really bolstered the offense. And a quick 3 miss for Chukwu-Kelu.
And very quick shot for Favor, more of a set shooter.
He never really took the time to get
right.
set. Here's Woods on Harris, gets met by BG. Now powering in and missing was Ouedraogo. And it's still Antelope ball.
Ouedraogo, I'm not sure if he got hit in the face or he's upset with himself, but he had his hand over his mouth for a moment. And how about the early minutes for J.J. Harris? Came in at the end of a blowout last time we were here at the JCC. Now getting some early first half minutes.
He's in now alongside a fellow freshman, Hincho Rivera. J.J. had a nagging injury for most of January, most of February, kind of in and out. But he got a solid 17 minutes, 7 points Saturday against Tarleton. Nice fall-away shot, but a miss for Woods. And a foul on an Antelope, so Cougar ball.
That'll be Tayshawn Cherry. He hit Favor Chukwu-Kelu in the head as they were running for that loose ball. So Favor, after the missed 3, draws a foul. One of the better shooters on this Grand Canyon team. And now here comes J.J. back into the game.
There's the lead man, Gerald Gillian. Just having done the inserting of J.J. into the game.
Can you tell the people why J.J. wears 0 again?
Yeah, he says that's the number of people who can guard him.
I love the confidence, man. I do.
He's got swagger. And there's a miss for Corbett. Miller Moore again on the D. And Corbett takes it back. Here's a 2-on-1. And it's Bailly with the flush.
Great read by Jashawn Corbett. As soon as he got that ball, what did he do? Look to the basket, see who was ahead of the floor. It was the teddy bear. That wasn't a soft dunk at all.
Teddy bear hammering it home. Not the type you'd want to cuddle with, I guess. And here come the Antelopes. Up 2 and with it. Around the perimeter. And McMillan with a nice move. The floater's off. But his next trip's to the free throw line.
That was a great move by McMillan to get to the free throw line. To get himself in possession to get that floater up. He got Teddy Bailly Bamandang on the foul. He caught him coming across, swiped him on the arm. Actually going to be Hincho Rivera, so they're going to call the backside reach as opposed to Bailly Bamandang hitting him on the wrist.
Now receiver of that backside reach, Chance McMillan, freshman out of Vallejo, California.
You notice GCU wearing the number 4 patch, that in honor of Oscar Freyer, who was part of the team a year ago, the NCAA tournament team.
Tragically passed away last year, and so much has affected this squad, and they're playing in honor of him. Here's McMillan with the team now in double figures. He's what we like to call a COVID freshman, so technically listed as a freshman, but that's because he got an extra year. Last year, he was the team's leading scorer out of the true freshmen. So this is Harris for the Cougars. And now Bayi on Aiden Igyehan. And that's a travel. He was shuffling the feet around, so going the other way.
Standing solid there was Aiden Igyehan, able to draw the travel against Teddy Bayi Bamandang. How about GCU going to the bench early here? Already 4 bench players in there with Blackshear. Usually they stick with Blackshear or Woods in the game at one time, but they really only play about 8.5, meaning one guy is half in, half out the lineup. That's 55 who's half in, half out. Ellis.
Walter Ellis, 45% three-point shooter. And here's Blackshear. Off to McMillan. Good pinpoint passing by the Antelopes. Down low to Igyehan, and that pass tipped and picked. Here's Russian.
Good hands by Teddy to knock that pass down.
Russian with the baseline drive. Around to Harris. He lets it fly. Off the front end, Igyehan on the board.
Great closeout by Tayshawn Cherry. Threw off the hand-eye coordination to J.J. Harris there, left it a little short.
Ellis, 3-ball strong, and the board Igyehan. Over the back on Russian, so Aiden Igyehan, known as the Irish Hulk, draws the foul.
The Irish Hulk.
He's from Dublin, came over to Brooklyn in high school. He was first team All New York, went to Louisville, played 2 seasons there, and then a transfer from Chris Mack's program down to GCU.
I will say this about GCU. They do have some bigs that have some pretty nice guns in terms of having that arm strength. We talk about Ray Drago. He's a big guy. He'll get to the floor in a hurry sometimes. We saw that in the last game against Mexico State.
French Hulk?
I'll leave that to you with the nicknames, man.
You're the Chicago Hulk. Here's Cherry. You told me he could shoot. There it is.
Yeah, Tayshawn Cherry, a great stretch shooter for this team. This is another guy that plays with a lot of energy, has the size to play 3 or 4 different positions, but much more of a shooter.
Betson drive and a bounce. Russian travel. That's 2 for the Cougars, and they've turned it over 4 times.
A lot of guys travel just doing that way what Corian did, which is when he catches the ball, he's already trying to make a head, shoulder, hip fake. And the problem is, if you move the hips, it's hard for you to stop him once you get him going. And sometimes if you don't fake the defender out, it's clear you traveled because the defender's not moving and you're the only one moving without a dribble.
And the hips don't lie.
Exactly. Like that song.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Little post-game jam for us. Here's Javon Blackshear. Gets it in the corner to McMillan, and a nice teardrop.
All right, Chicago Woods in the reserves. Just a lot of interchangeable usage of their starting guards.
2 of the best guards in the WAC.
Yeah.
They can do it by themselves. They can do it together. Javon Blackshear, he met a lot with the coaching staff over the offseason because he was the only returning starter, sort of the glue that tied over the championship squad to this year. And Betson misses the floater. Board to Johnson. There's Russian. Bouncing, Russian again. This is the 3rd opportunity. He was fouled. He'll go to the line. And back to Holland Woods coming over. So Holland Woods, he was a stud last year at Arizona State. He entered the transfer portal. Blackshear and the coaching staff see that, and Blackshear says, hey, I think we should probably get this guy. And they bring him over.
So you're telling me Javon Blackshear is a great recruiter? That's what you're telling me.
I think so.
How about the hustle from Corian Russian? Chicago State, they had to get something out of that possession. I mean, they were on the verge of coming away empty there. Corian stayed with it, able to get to the free throw line. So now they're going to get 2 if he can hit this one. I might have just hit him with the jinx, so I'll be quiet. I'm saved.
You can talk.
I'm saved.
Yeah, Corian Russian really scrapping there. Showed you the type of player he is, right? He leads the team in rebounds, blocks, steals. There's his coach who, from day one, said, Corian's our guy. He is really what the program's built on.
He was the top returning scorer a season ago, and all season long he's been the anchor of this defense. They put him against a lot of the top scorers in this conference.
And with an undersized team in a big conference, he's got to face a lot of these bigs. And there's one of them, Aiden Igyehan, Irish Hulk. He drew the foul.
foul go against BG Rumwami. There's a lot of hand fighting down there as they both are trying to post up on that left block.
So Blacksher for the inbound, averaging 17 a game and the WAC's leader in three-point percentage, almost 40. He sneaks past Betson, and now an open three ball. McLaughlin is 0 for 2.
I know he can hit it from out there, but I think he's much better playing in the post, being aggressive, using his height, and able to score off the glass. He's really good at catching the ball high and just laying it in. It's McLaughlin.
Now challenged defensively. How about a step back and a miss for Bailly? And now Blacksher's out and running.
Teddy's still trying to develop that offense, either facing it or back to the basket.
McLaughlin driving kick over to McMillan. That one tough to handle for Igyehan. McMillan sinks the three. That's the second-year player out of California.
Grand Canyon, they're not really the best three-point shooting team in the conference, but if they get switches like that where you have BG Rumwami guarded on the perimeter, it'll be barbecue chicken all day from beyond the arc.
Barbecue chicken?
I'm hungry.
You're pretty hungry, man. Yeah. So post-game hips don't lie, barbecue chicken. Here's a long Betson three, and he's 0 for 3.
Trying to have a party after the game, Sam?
I mean, you've given me the menu, you've given me the soundtrack. That bounced off Igyehan. Steal for Johnson. Little birthday treat. Betson can't convert.
I don't like the break etiquette there for Chicago State. J.J. Harris was running the floor, but he ran to the corner. If he goes to the basket, he gives Betson an outlet as opposed to him having to hit that runner over a man.
Now Blacksher speeds by Bailly. And a foul call.
I think one of the problems we've seen all season for Chicago State, I don't think we've really talked about it much, Sam, is that when Brandon Betson gets the ball, it's like everybody kind of just defers. They just expect him to really score, even though that's a 3-on-1 breakaway. Teddy did the right thing running down the floor, but there's a defender there. If J.J. keeps going to the basket as opposed to the corner, there's the outlet pass. You can bounce it to him as opposed to Brandon having to shoot a tough runner.
So you want to see a little more away from the ball movement.
Yeah, more discipline, just
right.
reading the play,
right.
reading, you know how they say read the room, read the floor in that situation.
Holland Woods strokes it in.
It's something random
He's
there.
chilling.
Something for him, let's say that.
We're rolling here in Chicago. Cougars and the Antelopes. Grand Canyon by 13. And as I was saying, Chris, 8-game losing streak. Cougars wanted a quick start, but now they find themselves down 13. Here's a long two. Russian can't hit. Board goes to Woods, and he's on the run. Holland Woods, 7 early points.
I was going to say, watch Blacksher on the backside. I thought he was going to cut to the rim. Instead, he comes to the ball.
Blacksher shoots it, but after a whistle, it's a Cougar foul. 7th. Or check that. It's a GCU foul. 5th.
That was McLaughlin. I got to apologize. I didn't see that. I was watching the ball. I was watching Blacksher, so that happened in the paint. Foul against GCU.
So Cougars with a chance now. Looking to stop a 6-0 run. This is an offense that's missed 12 of its last 13 shots and another one there.
Chicago State trying to shoot themselves back into the game, but Chicago State got to remember they're one of the worst teams in the conference in terms of three-point percentage. Settle it down a little bit.
They pride themselves on this end,
right,
on the defense, but this is a Grand Canyon team that's difficult to stop. Here's Wudraogo spinning in, and he snuck it in.
Corian rushing in a tough spot, already has a foul, and he can't clear out because they had a mismatch with Harris guard and McLaughlin. So good job by Corian, but just not taking the foul there, gives up the basket.
A pretty nifty move, too, by Wudraogo. Hincho Rivera can't hit it from 3. And there's Russian off the glass and a miss. Cougars can't buy a bucket. Here's Woods with a lot of speed and the alley-oop. Sean Miller-Moore, the high flyer.
I told you I like the athleticism, Sam. There it is on display for Sean Miller-Moore with the one-hand throwdown.
Chukwukelu with the answer. That ends it. Some guys who have to make plays. Cougars just stopped a 10-0 run, but still down 14.
Dreadful shooting start for Chicago State. 4 of 20 from the field, 2 of 12 from 3.
Meanwhile, Grand Canyon, 10 of 17 from the field. McLaughlin trapped in the corner, and he got a foul call.
Wow. Who are they hitting? They're going to go with BG Rumwami. Must have caught him on the wrist. And that's a tough break for Chicago State. 2 against King BG. But how about the double team? They finally get a pickup. They had the trap, and they give it away with a foul. Honestly, I got to be honest. I don't really think he hit him on the arm there, but I don't have a striped shirt.
Bailout?
Bit of a bailout there.
So as a result, McLaughlin at the line and cashes the first. 71% on the season. This is someone who, in just 3 years at Grand Canyon, has really been through the ringer. Had to rehab a torn ACL, says it gave him a new perspective in life. One of those moments where you sort of learn who you are. Came back off the bench last year and thrust into the starting 5 this season. Gabe McLaughlin.
And he and Redraogo, they are 2 players that will get on the floor. A lot of resiliency, a lot of hustle out of both of them.
And here's Ouedraogo, a battle of the Frenchmen, and Bayi Bamandeng loses it.
Great defense by Ouedraogo, able to get the board after contesting the shot.
Woods with a nice cross. Now he's on the big man. Picked up his dribble, though, and gives off to his backcourt buddy. Now Blacksher on Bayi. Over to Ouedraogo. Dump off McLaughlin and hacked by Rivera. So again, number 30 to the line.
BG Rumami with 2 fouls, so now Chicago State trying a different body in the paint. This time is Hincho Rivera. He's giving up some size, and he picks up the foul, trying to help himself there. Also, just Deshaun Corbett a little late on the rotation there.
What are you seeing from the Cougars' defensive rotations? Usually one of their strengths, but Grand Canyon's been shooting the lights out.
Well, Grand Canyon is showing that they watch film. They're showing that they've watched film. They're doing a good job of knowing where to switch, meaning they're getting switches on guys in mismatches. We saw King BG Rumami. He was guarding somebody shooting the 3. We got Hincho Rivera defending in the paint. We had, I think it was either Favor that was guarding somebody on the low block earlier. So they're doing a great job of reading the mismatches and knowing how to force Chicago State into switches in the paint.
It's remarkable how many times we've seen a guy like Blacksher with a guy like BG Rumwami on him. A 6'10 player guarding a little 5'11 guard. Here's Betson weaving. Long 2, and he got it.
Good shot for Betson. That's his first points of the game, 1 of 6 from the field.
Brandon Betson, Cougars' leading scorer, and they need him if they're going to climb back. Here's McMillan, who has a 3 ball, whistles a pass to Ellis. Now the dump off to Cherry, hits the turnaround jumper.
Chicago State is in a dangerous spot right now, not because they're down 18, but GCU is playing half-court basketball. They play this style to settle you down and then pretty much just methodically wear you out with half-court passing.
Right, it's a team that's built on defense and rebounding, and then they just let the offense come to them. How about Betson fighting hard for the bucket?
Nice move by Brandon Betson. Also worth watching for GCU when they get on defense. They play 2-3 zone in defensive style. That's to settle you down defensively. If Chicago State continues to score with Betson, they're going to have to hit some outside shots.
Ellis, a 3 ball. He shoots it dead-eye, 45% on the season. Son of LaFonso Ellis, former NBA player.
Yeah, former Denver Nugget. You might see him all the time on ESPN. I remember he was part of that 94 Denver team that beat Seattle in the playoffs, first 8 seed to be the 1.
And now his son with a big steal, and he drew the foul. The Antelopes are feeling it, and LaFonso's boy with a smile.
I used to have LaFonso Ellis basketball cards when I was a kid. So
how many? Was that like a specific collection?
I have
I collect LaFonso Ellis cards?
No, I used to collect cards in general. And I had, every team, and I had a bunch of Denver cards. So I had some LaFonso Ellis, some Dikembe Mutombo, some Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf back in the day.
How about a little Bryce Drew?
I gave it up before he got into my view.
6 NBA seasons, including a stint with the Bulls. And here's Walter Ellis at the line. In and out. And we're going to the Cougars. Hey, so great to have everyone here. Sam Brief, Chris Rouse, our championship crew. A delight to welcome you into Chicago on a cold Wednesday. Talked to Coach Drew earlier in the week. He's someone who's from the Midwest, grew up in Valparaiso, now living down in Phoenix. First question he asked me, hey, how's the weather? I said, I think you're used to this kind of 18-degree night you're going to have Wednesday.
Now, let me ask you, what day did you ask him that? Because yesterday it was like 50.
Oh, it was balmy. There's Betson missing a scooper. Push-off goes against the Antelopes, though, so we're going to stay. Yeah, it was one of those days where you kind of hear the snow melting on Monday.
Cherry just picked up his 3rd foul. That's why he was frustrated.
And he hasn't played much.
Yeah, he has not. And now GCU actually going to use a floor spacer in terms of their 3-point shooting, as Cherry will go to the bench. So they're going to go to this more interior lineup, which means they're going to play through the guards as Blackshear, and it's going to be Woods. It's going to be Blackshear himself. So usually they play through Blackshear and Ellis with this shooting lineup.
Blackshear shoots 40%, and Ellis 45% from downtown. So watch him. Here's Betson. Good shimmy.
Oh, nice block.
Blocked by Ikiehan. That's the Irish Hulk.
That was a great recovery because I thought he might have caught that on the way down, but he just got it as Betson let it go.
It was a power move from Betson. And here come those methodical antelopes. Long 2, Blackshear, in and out.
Looked like he gave Brandon Betson his own stutter step crossover jump shot there.
That's one of the Betson signatures.
Right back at him.
Whips over to Russian. He bobbled and lost it. The steal for McMillan. 1-on-1, and Johnson fouled him.
That turnover there, Sam, that's exactly what I mean by discipline. Corian Russian got caught in between a chest pass and a handoff. So as he was handing it off, he kind of just let it go. McMillan stole it, got into the open floor. Now he'll go to the line.
This is a Grand Canyon defense that when you give it to them, they'll take it. Top defense in the WAC. They give up just 62 a game. Give up 48 to that high-flying San Francisco squad. But the defense has been a bit of a problem recently. They gave up 82 in a big loss to New Mexico State Saturday night.
When you focus on the defensive end, you will have a game like that, especially at the college level, where you'll keep a team under 50. We saw Chicago State do that. They did that to Tennessee State back in December. So when you focus on that side of the ball, you will have some of those games where that other team, they can't throw it in the ocean no matter what they do.
Tennessee State came in beginning of the season. They were high-flying, top-scoring team in the Ohio Valley. Something like 82 a game.
Yeah.
And they scored 49.
Barely got half of that in that game against Chicago State.
So 4:40 to go first half. Cougars down big. This is a big stretch to claw back. Harris, the freshman, whips over to Chukwukelu. A step-back 3 with the man in his face. That's not the shot as Blackshear weaves back up the court.
Uncharacteristic of Favor. Once again, more of a spot-up shooter.
There's a foul call. Harris swiped the newcomer, freshman Jalen Blackman. And now he goes to the line.
Yeah, double bonus against Chicago State here with 4:20 to go in the half. And they just really haven't got anything going offensively. 6 of 27 from the field, 2 of 13 from 3. And then on top of that, Brandon Betson just 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting.
Cougars has a squad 22%. And there's Blackman on the first.
Corbett back out there. That's who I'd like to see Chicago State try to play through a little bit more. Go through Jashawn Corbett, scoreless so far, 0 of 2 from the field. He is working on his ability to drive to the basket, but he is a solid outside shooter, and he can create with his back to the basket. Just not exactly the best post threat, backing down in the block.
When he's at his best, what's he bringing?
I think when he's at his best, he's a great outside shooter, and he can score off of that outside shooting, meaning he'll take you off the dribble, off of hard closeouts. And then sometimes he's pretty good for a right-left crossover, but still got to work at developing that a little bit more.
Here he hands it off to Betson, and the Cougars' creator. A foul, and he'll go to the line. Brandon Betson burst onto the scene early in his first Division I season, and now he's waist deep into this year where he's really carried the Cougars offensively, and now getting checked out by Chicago State athletic trainer Alex Reamy. Maybe some blood there? Yeah, he's going to patch up Brandon.
No surprise there. Brandon's been on the floor a few times.
This is an amazing move, right? To, with one hand, hold the gauze on while you unwrap the tape. I don't know about you. I'd be bobbling. You're on TV.
I definitely would be bobbling, dude.
Right? I mean, this is expert-level patchwork.
I mean, it's another person. You got to hold the leg still.
Yeah.
You got to wrap it up. It's like, hey, dude, relax. And then you can't get anything on the floor, so, yeah.
Alex Reamy, best in the business.
Salute to all trainers. Let's say that. Salute to all of the trainers.
All of them. They make the world go round. These guys don't get on the court without them. And Betson all patched up, missing.
Including Jordy Hackett of GCU. That's their trainer. So salute to all the trainers.
Hey, when you get a Chris Rouse salute, you take that seriously. I've gotten a few of them.
Of course, man.
Brandon Betson, 84% from the line this year. And the Cougars have 4 minutes to try and get into the locker room feeling a little better. A zone look here against the Grand Canyon offense, shooting 60%.
Yeah, it's a 2-1-2 zone for Chicago State.
There's a surgical drive and the tap back good for Iguehan.
Chicago State tried to go GCU on GCU, tried to play zone defense to settle them down. Instead, GCU went into their half-court set, which is very disciplined, a lot of good passing, and then they drive to the basket, get the 2.
Go GCU on GCU. In a word, what's this GCU team?
Antelopes.
Thanks, Captain.
Triangle set with a lot of good passing from New Mexico State in that game, and that's kind of what I mean by go GCU on GCU, settle you down, and then methodically wear you out.
That was a game with a lot of hype. 2 rival programs, 2 of the best, right? Last year's champ, this year's leader. In front of the Havocs, one of the great student sections in the country, Teddy Allen led the Aggies in. Got a big road win, and it's Corbett to the line. That was 82-66, Aggies over the Antelopes. In front of a lot of purple.
Exactly. That's actually one of the more fun places to actually watch a game on
Oh,
television.
yeah.
All the purple, and then sometimes they'll wear the all white in the gym. It's a really good look. At least it comes across on screen pretty well.
And it was a purple out.
Yeah, purple out.
So they were wearing purple at home, all the fans wearing purple. GCU Arena goes nuts.
I feel like you can say that about a few other places in this conference as well, when they really fill it out. New Mexico State, they get a pretty good crowd as well. California Baptist, I think, is a fun place to watch the game sometimes.
Stephen F. Austin, who we saw last week, they've got the nation's longest home win streak.
Exactly. Yeah, don't sleep on that home court advantage in the WAC. Got a pair of subs here for both teams. Hincho Rivera for Chukukelu. So Iguehan go out.
This is a conference, Chris, just alluded to it. It's grown so much. Coach Drew, someone who's a newcomer who came in from the Valley, then to the SEC of all places, and then here to the WAC. He's like, hey, I don't think people realize how good this conference is.
Something Gerald Gillian said, too. He said, hey, they shoot. They can shoot the ball in the WAC.
They're big and they shoot.
Right, we've seen that all season long. And how about the coaches in this conference? Mark Madsen, Chris Jans, Bryce Drew, Gerald Gillian trying to make his name now for Chicago State.
The Waction, it's fun, and we've got it for you right now. So great to have you along for the ride. Here's beautiful offense as McLaughlin drew a foul. Oh, and it's reversed. A charge, and Bailly is delighted at the reversal.
What happened on that play, Teddy stepped in to take the charge. It should have been an offensive foul, but the official on the baseline actually was calling for help on the outside. He said he didn't see it. That's why he deferred to the outside official who called the offensive foul. I thought he had a better angle at both players.
That's a team of officials.
That's twice we've seen them work together. Remember, they tried to get the 3 or
the
4.
The 3 and the 4
right.
with the numbers. Got to get these things right. Corbett can't finish over Miller Moore.
But that's what I was saying. He can do that. He is pretty good at working back to the basket if he gets the right mismatch.
Around the horn, and Blackshear strokes it in. This is a guy on a mission.
That's also his first points of the game, and to come here with 2:15 to go in the half.
Russian, strong drive. Whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Cherry.
And that'll be 4 against Tayshaun, and he's also down holding his ankle there, and that is not a good look. You do not want to see that.
Certainly hoping Tayshaun's all right. Junior out of El Cajon, California. He transferred with Holland Woods from Arizona State. High character player, and you never want to see that look on someone's face.
Yeah, Tayshaun Cherry, a big part of this 8.5-man rotation we talked about for GCU. Bit of a stretch big man. Also has the ability to play the 3, the 4, or the 5 if needed with his ability to shoot and also his size.
So Cherry getting looked at right now by the training staff, and then also here comes Coach Drew to check on him. 2:09 left in the first. A big Grand Canyon lead here in Chicago. Tayshawn Cherry from Foothills Christian High School in California. When he went to Arizona State, he was the highest ranked signee for the Sun Devils since a guy you probably heard of, James Harden.
James Harden.
And now Cherry in Phoenix with the Antelopes. Great to see him able to stand up. We're certainly sending our best to Tayshawn. Hope he's all right.
Arizona State hasn't really put up the wins the past few years, but that's been a solid hotbed in the Pac-12 as of late. You think about Christopher, who was there at Arizona State a few years ago, and then also Remy Martin, who's now at Kansas, and then the two guys here, Woods and Tayshawn Cherry.
Forks up. Down in Tempe. Here's Russian, the Chicago native. Hits every part of the rim. So Johnson and BG back in. Bryce Johnson still scoreless. So is BG Rumwami. Cougars have only hit 6 field goals. And 2 threes off the front end there from Russian. Yehan has been a beast on the board so far. And here come these Antelopes. 2 to go, first half. So far, GCU putting on a clinic. And there's a foul. BG Rumwami whistled for it. So they just keep piling up in half one. That's 3.
And he and Corian both have 3 personals. Tayshawn Cherry, prior to going out, he picked up his 4th. McLaughlin has 3. So you're starting to know. So at least now you know why you're not seeing a lot of the regular bigs for both teams.
Well, here's one of those regular bigs. Ivan Udraogo. First one's up and off. Just a 41% free throw shooter. Udraogo transferred from Nebraska. He was the all-time freshman leading rebounder for the Huskers. Makes a trip southwest, came to Grand Canyon, and 0 for 2 on that trip.
Yeah, I see why he shoots 41%. He shoots line drives. He really doesn't have a feel with his fingers. He shoots it from the palm. You'll never hit it like that. You're going to shoot a line drive every time.
Line drives only on a Monday.
And I'll
they'll
say
get
this.
the Cougars next. Yep.
And I'll say this, New Mexico State, they look strong regardless of taking both teams. I thought their best shot, Darion Trammell, had 24 points for Seattle in that game, and New Mexico State still won it going away.
That was a wire-to-wire win, too,
Yeah.
for the Aggies. Chris Jant's team projected as a 14 seed right now by Joe Lenardi. There's some chatter they could be in that tournament regardless of how the WAC tourney goes.
I will say, if there is a team that could pick up in that large in the WAC, I do think it's New Mexico State.
Here's the steal for Russia. No doubt. Just 2 conference losses. Chris Jant's team clicking, and we get a look at them 2 o'clock Saturday.
I think their ceiling, however, might be the 11 line, though.
Miscommunication there, and it's going to GCU. Cougars have some cleanup duty to do. Turnovers haven't been a huge issue tonight. Really just about putting the ball in the bucket right now.
Yeah, 21% from the field. That's not a good look at all. 14 from 3, just a dreadful shooting day, especially when the other team is shooting 60 from the field and 62 from 3.
Grand Canyon coming off the rivalry loss, right? We're talking about New Mexico State. What about the other side of it? Grand Canyon took a tough one. They look like a team on a mission right now. But there's a bobble and a steal for Harris. 50 seconds to go. Cougars in transition. And Johnson missing the 3.
That hometown iron has just been unkind to the Cougars. We've seen a number of shots go halfway down and rattle out.
There's hometown iron and road cooking tonight. It's been road cooking for the Antelopes. Looking to win 10 WAC games in Bryce Drew's second season. And Udraogo gave it away, and this is not good news. Corian Russian can't put any weight on that left ankle.
Now, Corian, prior to the last time out, he was hobbling, even going back to the huddle. I saw him limping just a little bit, and now he's down in front of Coach Gerald Gillian, and that is not a good look. That is not the first time we've seen that at Corian. A few games ago, he was out at the free throw line, and he was hobbling back to mid-court, so they're going to take a look at him.
He's such a tough player. Born and raised in Chicago. Part of that glue that tied over last year's team to such a new team this year. Chicago State's leader helped off.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate incident there for Corian Rushing. It's been unfortunate really for Chicago State all season. They've been dealing with injuries all throughout that lineup. Like Teddy Bayi-Bamandang, he's still playing with a bad shoulder. Bryce Johnson was out with an ankle. Ked Green's been in and out the lineup. It's just been a tough go for Chicago State as far as injuries this season.
And, of course, Ali Deba, the broken wrist, he's out for the season. It's been tough luck, and we really hope Corian's all right. 5 seconds left, and a Harris three-ball from that left angle. JJ with a little spark. And it's Harris starting as the ball handler to start the second half. Great to have everyone back. If you're just joining us, welcome in. And if you've been with us from the start, this is now an 8-0 run for the Cougars between the two halves.
And that's what you want to see out of Jashawn Corbett. He only took the ball to the block one time in the first half. It looked good, but he left it a little long. Scores there.
And now on the run, an offensive foul. Bayi draws his second. A good start for the Cougars.
Teddy Bayi-Bamandang, he goes about 6'7", 6'8", but he's a guy that he is not afraid to step up and take the charge. We've seen games where he's taking 2-3 charges sometimes for the Chicago State team.
And it's remarkable for someone like him to take the charges because he's also had that banged up shoulder.
Exactly. He's no stranger to the floor here at the JCC.
Chukwukelu off to Harris. And a bad pass left Corbett hanging. Turnover number 10.
Bad timing on the entry pass from JJ. He was trying to hit Jashawn on the feed, but Jashawn was also trying to repost after Sean Miller-Moore kind of knocked him off this block.
Antelope shot the lights out in the first half. 61% from the floor. Keyed by the two guards, Blacksher and Woods. This is Miller-Moore, who had a highlight reel alley-oop. And now to the point guard, Blacksher. Kick out to Woods. His three-ball sinks. He's got a cool 13.
Chicago State was in a 3-2 rotating zone. Favorite rotated way too low once the ball got to the angle. That's why the shot was wide open for Woods.
How about a wide open one for Harris? And that's a dead eye.
I think Harris starting the second half is a vote of confidence from Gerald Gillian. He hit that three prior to the break, and now, ideally, he might be the ball handler for the future for the Chicago State team.
Yeah, J.J. Harris, freshman out of Florida. 7 points in his last game. And now Woods, another answer.
Oh, that was just a pretty rainbow. How about the ice water in his veins, straight consciousness, just let that one go. Didn't even see the hand closing out.
Holland Woods, back-to-back threes. The transfer out of Arizona State has been a menace for WAC defenses.
He was totally unbothered by that closeout by Teddy Bayi-Bamandang as well.
Now Teddy with it offensively, can't kiss it off the glass, and the board to McLaughlin.
At GCU, they have Holland Woods, they have Javon Blacksher, and here's Woods right there.
A long three misses, and here's Johnson with the run.
I was going to say for Chicago State, they're trying to play from behind down 20, and you got to deal with these magnificent scores. We're going to get a flopping violation here in a second.
Another open look, and it's been a hot shooting second half for both sides. Clock stops at 17:39. Cougars starting to get the offense go a little more.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Everybody thought it was a timeout. They were just trying to call the flop on Holland Woods. That's why both teams went to the bench. I was like, there's no timeout. They were just calling the flop. As now Brandon Betson comes back in for Chicago State.
It's like, hold on, we got to stay playing. So pretty steady offensive start for Chicago State without Betson, but they got to find a way to stop number 11. And a foul away from the ball. That's against Harris. Second foul on JJ.
And apparently JJ got that foul before the ball came in, so GCU will just inbound on the side here. Usually that's a shot in possession.
There's Gerald Gillian, first-year head coach, with a bunch of nacho eaters behind him.
They love the nachos here at the JCC. I've seen that more than anything.
Yeah, seems to be the most popular,
Right.
like just based off the camera shots. Here's an alley-oop! The finish for Ikehan.
Well, Sam Brief, we talked about him on the boards. He was definitely on the boards there. He went up high and threw a hard two-hand slam down.
Harris, step back three, a little strong. Ikehan rips the board. The highlights are racking up for the Antelopes. This high-flying team from the Southwest putting on a show in the Windy City. An open three ball. That one cashes in. It's the freshman Blackman.
You see Chicago State trying to speed the game up here. It's not working for him in the half court, so I get it at this point, trying to sail out, trying to salvage this game.
Salvaging a shot. Brandon Betson with the 3. Possibly had a foot on the line, but they go 3 for now.
Yeah, the officials are saying they are going to review it at the next stoppage. I've seen about two officials both waving the fingers, and we're going to look at that one later.
Betson on the ball. A 3. It's Ellis now. These Antelopes are unconscious.
That was a great shot from Ellis, but I do have to give credit for Teddy Bamandang. He did close out. He did stop short of fouling him, but that's just a dead-eye shooter again, and Ellis knocking down the 3.
The second half has been a masterclass. Chicago State on offense now, just looking to stop the bleeding. Down 22, Johnson with it. Off to Corbett. Bamandang challenging Igyehan, and he got a foul call. So Teddy going to the line, this has been a challenge for him this year. A 47% free throw shooter. He was 2 for 3 against Stephen F. Austin.
Let's see if he does the breathing today. Let's see how he approaches it. It's been an adventure for Teddy this season at the line.
Paris native with that methodical breathing. And he sinks it, clean swish. Hey, here's a big one for Chicago State. Along with Noah BG-Rumwami, Corian Russian is back. That's great news for tonight, for Saturday, moving forward.
Yeah, right to the left of Teddy Bamandang and the left of Blackman in the back of the screen. So great sign, their defensive anchor. And right now, leading scorer in this game back on the floor. 15 in light gray for Chicago State.
Bailly 1 for 2. Yeah, what do you think of the 2 shades of gray?
Throws me off a little bit. I thought GCU was going to wear the purple today, but it doesn't bother me too much because of the purple numbers. It stands out.
Yeah, green and purple would have been a great opportunity. Instead, double gray. Nice crossover move. Kick out. McLaughlin strong on the 3. Sort of a heat check for the Indian. Won a WAC championship in his first season. And now these two meet for the second time. Great to have everyone here. Sam Brief, Chris Rouse, championship crew with you on ESPN+. As the Cougars look to climb out of the hole. Betson, a step back. He can hit that, but left it. And an offensive board.
Interesting lineup for Chicago State, essentially playing with 4 forwards in Betson out there.
Yeah, BG-Rumwami up there at the top.
He can shoot from there. That's his spot in pregame.
Corbett can shoot from there. He'll try. A little strong. And BG-Rumwami, expert level putback.
Home court advantage, and King BG there to take advantage. Nice tap back after the ball kind of laid on the top of the backboard for a second.
Let's see what Grand Canyon's got up his sleeve. They've had a lot, shooting over 60%, few threes to start the second half. Nice weave for McMillan, and looking for Igyehan. That pass was interrupted, picked by Bailly.
And he made that play all with one hand, made it with that bad shoulder too, just stuck the hand up, knocked it down, and then reeled it in.
Betson swirls out, and we'll go back to the Antelopes. You mentioned the bad shoulder for Teddy. That's a separated AC joint. Hard to believe he can play at full strength with that.
Right, he's been playing tough since he hurt that shoulder. He hurt that shoulder about a month ago, actually, here at the JCC. But I do notice Teddy, when he goes to the glass, he doesn't really put that right arm up first anymore. And that's tough for him because that is his dominant arm. So now he kind of has to try to use that left hand and work and sort of like swim his body to the front of the rim to get rebounds.
Swimming for a rebound. Something you got to be multi-talented for. Here's Miller Moore, battle of the number zeros as you go back out to Blacksher.
I was actually surprised to see Miller Moore pass it. He's really good at playing in the post, especially against a guard on the other team.
Long 2, it's short from Blacksher. Offensive board, Wudraogo. Jump ball call, going to the Cougars.
Good job by Corian to just recognize the play there, stick his hands down, draw the tie up. But I talked about Sean Miller Moore, about his game. He has that ability to play with the back to the basket, really strong in the post, does a lot of the small things well for a team to help them win. And one of those things is recognizing mismatches like he has against J.J. Harris. I wouldn't be surprised to see him post him up here. Yep.
There you go, Miller Moore, the dump off. Blacksher guiding the offense last year and this year. The only returning starter. He's gotten a lot of help from this guy. Holland Woods misses the three. And it's out on Bailly. So another chance. 4 seconds to shoot for the Antelopes.
Surprised that Holland Woods actually missed that jumper. He did a good job of faking both Corbett and B.G. Ruami out there. Had a wide open look, but just couldn't knock it down.
He's hit a lot of tougher shots today.
Right. They always miss the wide open ones.
By the way, 20 to shoot, not 4. McLaughlin off to Woods. He can hit from anywhere. So can Blacksher. Wax three-point leader. Shimmying on the freshman Rivera. There's Miller Moore cashing in. Everyone in on the action.
And that's his spot. He's definitely a corner 3 guy for this GCU team. Knocking it down. Corian to the basket. Just didn't get the roll.
Chicago kid couldn't get it. And with the 61-39 lead, here's Grand Canyon. Woods on the drive. Kisses it off the glass.
If I told you Javon Blacksher only had 3 points and GCU would be up 24, I don't think you would have believed me.
Yeah, no way. No way. Blacksher the leader, but it's been Woods tonight impressing. Corbett misses. That's the story for Chicago State. Too many missed threes. And now the Antelopes back with it. Blacksher, a long 3. Oh, he has 6 now.
Right on cue. You saying my name, Chris Rouse? Javon Blacksher knocks down the 3. Chicago State's been crowding his airspace, but clearly nobody in the area there as he knocked that down.
Hey, good to have you back. We got just under 13 to go in Chicago. And the story tonight is this Grand Canyon team on the precipice of its 10th WAC win. Hincho Rivera with a 3, but the Cougars haven't hit enough tonight. And the Antelopes, red hot from downtown, are looking to strike in Chicago.
Too many people for Chicago State commit to the ball. We saw that earlier. Holland Woods had a ball fake, faked everybody out. They were lucky he couldn't make the jumper.
And there's Woods with it. He's got 15 points. Matched up with Betson here. Driving kick. This is a quick passing GCU team. And Blackman is in and out. Betson carving his way up the court. Forced a foul. So the Cougars keep possession with just a tick under 12.
Chicago State going back to more of a orthodox lineup here with Betson, Harris, and Hincho Rivera. So going back to more of a 3-guard, 2 big look, and then they're going to keep it going here with Favor. Chukukelu set to check in, depending on if he comes in for another guard here.
First one's good. The lineups this year, they've been so different because you've had injury. You've had COVID. Every program's dealing with COVID. But it just feels like the Cougars have had different looks every night, and a lot of it is just sort of circumstance.
Exactly. And they've really been – I thought they've done a good job this season. I think they've done a really good job of working through it. It's just sometimes they've just been outgunned. They just don't have their full complement. They don't have a proper scorer, proper ball handler. And it's kind of tough to adjust when you're losing your top guns in the lineup.
A big gun in Ali Deba, who broke through with 21 points against Grand Canyon last time. He's out for the season with a broken wrist.
And I think that's kind of expedited the minutes for Hincho Rivera. I think Chicago State got a little too adjusted to playing.
In the first 10 minutes, but since then, Grand Canyon has done Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah, they pretty much forced Chicago State to play a half-court style of basketball. They methodically worn them down with their good half-court passing. And then on defense, Chicago State settling for a lot of threes. There's a 2 for Corbett, though.
So more 2s might be more success with 11 to go. Deshaun Corbett, the freshman, and here's a zone look.
Yeah, a bit of a rotating zone here was 3-2.
This is the pinpoint passing Chris is telling you about.
Because
they're quick.
Yeah, GCU, they know how to pull the zone. And they brought the ball inside the arc one time, worked it back around, and got a quality 3.
That's Ellis, his second 3. Transfer out of Bucknell in the Patriot League. From the northeast to the southwest, he's kept the shooting going.
Formerly a bison, now an antelope.
Are those similar animals? I mean, they're different, but like a similar personality, I think, if you met one. These Antelopes defending WAC champs, and their leader drew a foul that went against Bayi Bamande. 3 on Teddy.
Teddy running over to talk with Coach Gerald Gillian. I think he's telling him, man, we can't gamble like that. You can't get any reaching fouls. We're already down 23. Do not do anything to help GCU at this point, especially considering how quick Chicago State was in the double bonus in that first half. It was 4:20, and they already had 10 personal fouls on the team.
Right, GCU's not a great free throw shooting team, but they've been pretty expert tonight, both from behind the arc, inside the arc, and of course at the line. Here's Woods crossing up Corbett. He's got a mismatch against Bayi. Stops on a dime at the elbow. Got it back. A fadeaway. And in and out. Foul goes against Ellis. That's an offensive foul. It's going to the Cougars.
So they're going to go with, I think it was Zador for that foul, actually.
Yeah, team is Zador.
Yeah, both he and Ellis were in the area. So pretty much pick your dark gray jersey there, and they go with Zador.
Zador, second season. Born in Ukraine, raised in Lithuania, now really coming of age in Arizona.
Transfer from Weber State, most famous Weber State alum, Damian Lillard. Basketball,
is it Dame
anyway.
time? What time is it? 8:36?
Wishing him a speedy recovery, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Just putting it out there, I'm a fan.
Hard not to be.
Yeah.
Dame Lillard turning into one of the greats. Here's one of the GCU greats with the ball right now. Javon Blacksher, 4th all-time scorer for Grand Canyon. Dumps it off to Wudraogo, someone who wasn't on his squad last year, and with muscle like that, he's really bolstered the Antelopes. And now we have a whistle against Bayi Bamande and called for a flop.
Good call on the flop. I understand what Teddy was trying to do going up against the big man in Udraogo, but that was a terrible sell job. I mean, yes, he does have a big arm, so it is believable he can hit you with one bump and you'll fall, but Teddy went flying across the lane. And, I mean, Teddy does take charges, but I don't think he takes them that hard when he gets maybe just a shoulder.
Third time was the flop, right? 2 charges and then the flop call. And that was the French matchup, Paris and Bordeaux. And here's a pickpocket steal. Blacksher can't line it up. Board ping-pongs around, back to Teddy.
That was kind of he and Betson is kind of like watching them look in the mirror here, because that's a shot Betson would take when he's off. He'll shoot that 3.
And here's Betson dribbling in the corner and out. He never really got the handle. Hit the line, and it's GCU ball.
And it's just a rough day for Brandon. And honestly, this last month, he's really struggled. He's just had some games that with teams that know how to take him out of rhythm. A lot of times when teams play zone defense, you'll see Brandon Betson struggle because a lot of times getting to the basket, he's got to shoot over taller guys. He doesn't have the looks from the outside, and then even if he does have it, they close out quick on him.
And with the defensive look, you said, hey, it's clear GCU's watched film.
Yep. And you know who I think set the blueprint on that was Seattle. Remember when they played Seattle, Vance Panja was guarding Brandon Betson, and ever since that, I think teams have kind of adjusted to his style of play.
Vance Panja, we're kicking it back to early January. That was a turning point game, and hacked hard there. Chance McMillan going to the line. That was the Cougars' second WAC home game after taking down California Baptist in a comeback win keyed by Betson.
And the reason why I picked that game is because Pons goes 6'8". He was guarding Betson, who's 6'1". That was the first time I think we saw Betson really struggle with a guy that was guarding him head-to-head. And I think teams have realized with zone, if his outside shot isn't falling, you can play zone because he can't create at the basket. Other than that, you can go man just by putting a bigger guy on him.
What situation have you seen him thrive most in?
I've seen Brandon thrive the most when he can get a great feel for the game. Sometimes he'll get guys that may be a little too grabby, a little too handsy on defense, meaning they'll take gambles. And I honestly thought today would be one of those games because GCU, when they play 2-3, they tend to gamble. But we haven't seen it today, Brandon not knocking down the shot from the outside.
Antelopes have been really disciplined.
Yep.
Chicago State, 46 points and down big at home. Here's Harris on Ellis. The handoff to Betson. Lets it fly. Strong. Board to Ouedraogo.
So usually when Brandon catches and shoots, that means he's having a rough day. He usually is a dribble. He has to dribble into his shot, get a rhythm look.
McMillan off the front end, bets and boards. Brandon, quick, sharp pass to Corbett, and that's a goaltend on Iguejan. So the bucket good.
Great running of the floor by Jashawn Corbett. How about Brandon Betson looking up? That's one of the things I think he has improved on, learning how to use his teammates, giving the ball up in the open floor. He had a mishap earlier, but there's an example there, finding Corbett running the floor.
Right, he's a complete player, turning himself into that. The scoring's always been there, but now the court vision guiding the offense. Here's Ellis on Harris. On the drive, Blackman, and expert level defense by Betson. The pickpocket, but it comes right back. Ellis with his steal, crosses up BG. Little strong, but the putback. Garbage bag to add a little extra resistance, a little sort of funky feel to it. In high school, he would work a lot in his garage, watching these old highlight tapes and trying to mimic the moves, turning himself into the leading scorer of a D1 team. There's Corbett with a miss, and the board to Guéhan.
I like what you said about the trash bag thing Brandon Betson does, because when you put a trash bag on the ball's going to have those ruffles of the bag on the ball. So sometimes you get that feel of, ooh, my goodness, I can't grip it, and trying to shoot basically with a wet ball almost.
Udraogo missing, and Harris clears. There's a rifle pass, and weaving in, Corbett can't get it done. And then he fouls Iguehan. Yeah, dribbling with a garbage bag. Really interesting way to learn for Brandon Betson.
Very innovative. I think that's very innovative.
It is.
But I totally understand where he's coming from with that, because you're going to get when you put a trash bag on the ball, the ruffles of the bag. And on top of that, the bag is already kind of slippery as it is. So imagine playing with wet hands, sweaty hands. It's like playing with sweaty palms almost, learning how to dribble when you're tired or when you don't have the best conditions on your hands.
It's sort of like in baseball when you use the donut weight when you're on deck. Make it tougher. How about that step through for McMillan? Chance, second-year player. He's been pretty precise.
I think he's been the game turner for GCU. He hit a 3 in the first half that really changed things around going into the break, gave GCU all the momentum they needed as Chicago State was finally starting to score.
Chance McMillan led all GCU freshmen in scoring last year. And Chicago State keeps the ball here after a foul on McMillan.
Remember, Chicago State had that run at the end of the first half, but prior to that, McMillan hit the 3 that made it a 20-plus point lead for GCU, so that 8-0 run pretty much kept it at 19 going into the break.
BG Rumwami foul. Chicago State also opened with a little run to start the second half, but then Holland Woods reasserted himself. Transfer out of Arizona State was picture perfect to start half 2 and keep this as a big lead. McLaughlin calling it out. Whips over to McMillan. A win for Grand Canyon gives their coach his 200th. Bryce Drew, second year with the program. Here's his big man, Iguehan. Back off to Blackman, the freshman. Bumped by Betson, and that's a foul call on the Cougar guard.
Not really a smooth possession for GCU, but one thing I did notice, they were pretty much playing through their bigs there. I know the ball was at the top of the key, but we're at face level. We can see the faces of the GCU players. McLaughlin was the one kind of being the point guard. He was calling everything out. Hey, you run through this screen, you go here, prior to that foul.
This is a veteran team in that a lot of the players are older, but they've only really been playing together for 1 year. And McLaughlin, he's one of the guys who's tied last year's WAC winning squad to this year's. Only one returning starter, that was Blacksher. And then McLaughlin returning off the bench. Here's Jalen Blackman, a freshman. Blackman, long 3-ball off the front end. Favor gets the board.
Great defensive discipline by Hincho Rivera the entire possession to stay with Blackman, even through a screen after Blackman gave it up and got it back.
Harris triggers a 3. J.J. Harris, he has been a welcome addition back.
And J.J. Harris, a great personality, but also a player that's still trying to come into his own on this team. Really doesn't know where he fits because he's been in and out of the lineup all season long. And, of course, Chicago State has really been feeling it the most in the backcourt, so he's kind of been the odd man out.
Bothered by injury at times and playing behind guys who have been bothered by injury. When Harris has been in, he's been a solid producer. Out of West Oaks Academy in Tallahassee.
Has a great looking jump shot. Straight up, straight down.
Blackman knifing in. He's got it. Gahan and one.
Oh, man. Gahan with a nice step to throw it down. I hope he's okay, but what a monster dunk. He took the hit and still hammered it with BG Rumami closing out on him, and that's it for King BG.
You see why they call him the Irish Hulk? Aiden Igayan, raised in Dublin, falling in love with basketball in Brooklyn, and now doing man things in Chicago with GCU.
That was just a monster dunk. One step to the rim and didn't get it down clean, but the point is that he got the 2 points and might get the 3-point play here. And it still looked good anyway. He wasn't clean.
That looked good too, very clean. Play like that, you gotta finish with the 3-point play, and he's got his team up 27. Here's Harris on Ellis. JJ, the freshman, guiding the offense. These are the areas of growth for a guy who's been in and out. Favor Chukwukelu loses it, and GCU produces another steal.
Honestly, not so sure that shouldn't have been a travel the way he lost it in the air.
Ellis, 3-ball, good. Nearly 50% from beyond the arc. Ellis keeps the clinic going, leads at 30. There's a wild drive, but a foul call against Dima Zador of the Antelopes.
Now GCU, they're going to go to the back of the bench now. They're up 30 points. Bryce Drew going to get some of the guys that usually sit at the back of the bench in here. Zador goes out, as does McMillan.
So some love for Liam Lloyd, whose dad Tommy is rocking and rolling as Arizona's head coach. They could be a 1 seed.
I love all the Pac-12 crossover. We talked about the Arizona State transfers, and now Tommy Lloyd, the coach at Arizona.
Yeah, Liam grew up in Spokane, went to Gonzaga Prep. His dad, Tommy, was an assistant at Gonzaga under the great Mark Few. Now he's doing his own thing and doing it really well in Tucson.
Yeah, Arizona, like you said, could be a 1 seed led by Benedict Matherin.
Heck of a player, heck of a name.
Yeah.
Give me a Benedict any day. Here's a Gahan. Rifles out. And there's a long 3, the freshman Blackman, in and out. Board goes over to one of those newcomers, Jaden Stone. Lloyd intercepted. Betson on the pick. And then he loses it. There's another steal for Ellis. Free run for Blackman, who got a foul on Groove there, still in the top tier.
And it's interesting. Of course, they're going to look at it as an embarrassing loss. I mean, they lost double digits. But if you saw that game, I mean, New Mexico State just kind of methodically wore them out, played half court, almost like a triangle offense. They kept the ball on one side of the floor, precision passing. And it's kind of like GCU was upset that they kind of brought their playbook and beat them with it, and GCU brought it back out here to Chicago today.
Triangle offense, good Chicago buzzword. Say that on the street loudly, and you'll get a couple people running over. Here's Corbett, and he got a foul call on Spry. Just checked in, Ethan Spry, third-year walk-on and a former Arizona State champ. Sends Corbett to the line. Bryce Drew emptying his bench. Grand Canyon's first trip to Chicago since 2019. They did not come here last year. And there's an offensive board. Corbett couldn't get the free throw. He can get that.
Good read by Hincho Rivera to make the rebound, and then the shovel pass to feed Corbett for the layup.
There's Lloyd to Spry, back to Lloyd. A couple of the reserves for Grand Canyon going at it. Nice feed. Finish is not there, but a foul. Sends Jaden Stone to the stripe.
GCU constantly has motion to the basket. Stone with a nice backdoor cut, couldn't finish. But even when he missed it, there were still 2 guys waiting on the offensive board underneath him there.
Yeah, rebounding battle has been owned by Grand Canyon. That'll frustrate Coach Gillian, who prides this team on a rebounding-based system.
They were down. It was -6 for Chicago State on the rebounding battle coming into the second half. But another thing that really hurts Chicago State's rebounding chances, they have a lot of guys that like to shoot threes. And the problem is a lot of the guys on the team, the rebounders, they're not really necessarily looking at the glass. You know, they're watching the ball. They're not expecting the shot to go up all the time.
And a 3, you get a longer rebound.
Exactly. A lot of long rebounds to the free throw line where the opposing teams usually reel them in because they have the height anyway.
So it's important for the shooters and the rebounders to be on the same page. You just haven't seen that.
You have not seen it, at least in today's game. And also haven't really seen much out of Brandon Betson either. His scoring has been a little rough for him today, but he's picked it up. He picked it up maybe about 4 or 5 minutes ago, but he struggled overall today.
Betson the free throw. Chicago State has another big challenge up next, Chris. New Mexico State, 2 o'clock Saturday. This is the gauntlet. This is when you learn what kind of team you are, with a road trip up next and then WAC tournament.
Almost a little triangle. GCU played New Mexico State Saturday. Chicago State plays GCU today. Now Chicago State, New Mexico Saturday. Mexico State Saturday.
What kind of triangle is that?
I'll let you name that one.
It's a lethal one, right? 2 of the best teams in the WAC. You got Grand Canyon defending champs. New Mexico State first place. And these defending champion Antelopes on the verge of their 10th conference win. There's a missed 3 ball from Lloyd, and nice board. This rebounding going all the way up and down the roster as the foul goes against Harris.
And once again, that height advantage, J.J. Harris was right there. He was standing there waiting for it, but it was Stone flying from the corner to get the offensive rebound for GCU. They're just committed to the glass.
Flew for the rebound like he flew from Perth. This is an Aussie. Grew up in Western Australia. Came to the U.S. in high school. And now a second-year player for Coach Drew. Stone cashes the second. And for Grand Canyon, this is their last road game of the regular season. They're back home for the final 3. Sam Houston, Utah Valley, and Dixie State before they look to go back-to-back at WAC Vegas.
And that's not a light schedule either.
No, there really isn't a light schedule in the WAC. Corbett loses it. Can Harris keep it? No. Mad scramble, and the jump ball will send it back to the Cougars.
Honestly, that's really the only saving grace here for Chicago State, because via the eye test, that was definitely GCU ball all the way. Great hustle by Spry to get that loose ball after J.J. Harris actually dropped, which should have been a recovery on an initial pass from GCU, one of the players for GCU.
Oh, that's the best bag of Skittles, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The blues.
Yeah, I forgot where we had that
blue
discussion.
tropical. It was right here.
Yeah, it was here. We had the light blue. The light blue is definitely my favorite as well.
We talk basketball 95% of the time. Food the other 5. Yeah, light blue.
And we see each other at like 2 locations, so sometimes I forget where we have some of these discussions at.
J.J. Harris, nice short jumper. He's been a welcome spark plug.
Yeah, nice shot from J.J. Harris. I think these last couple of games will really work wonders for his confidence moving forward, showing that he might be the guard for the future for Chicago State.
Strong on the 3, Liam Lloyd. And Harris gets it right back. Freshman to a freshman. This is Corbett muscling in and stripped and fouled. Next stop, free throw line for Jashawn.
I've only seen one successful back down for Jashawn, but the fact that he's tried it 4 or 5 times tonight, I think is a step in the right direction. It's something that he can work on. He has that back to the basket game. He can score.
You want him to play bigger?
Exactly. You might want to see him play bigger moving forward, but also still got to work on that ability to take you off the dribble and score at a consistent rate. Not really good at breaking defenders down.
6'6", 195. He's not a big, but he
can play big.
Right. Smooth player.
It's
can be more of a guard, can be more of a forward.
It's just like Tayshaun Cherry on GCU. He's 6'8", but he can shoot the 3. It's almost like having a wing or a guard.
Another sub here for the Antelopes. It's Rafe Gertis. Just his 7th action of the season. Fan favorite walk-on. Is a 4th-year player. He's 15 in the dark gray. And looking for him there, here's Rafe. Driving kickoff Rivera, 54 seconds left. For Chicago State, it's the final home game of the 21-22 season, Saturday at 2, our Hall of Fame game. Hosting league-leading New Mexico State. Looking forward to talking to you then. Meanwhile, these Antelopes, they'll bustle back to Phoenix for the final 3. Rivera tips, Rivera steals.
Nice,
and a diving Bayi keeps it in. It goes to Harris.
I like to see that. 2 guys to the floor, Hincho Rivera and the hurt Teddy Bayi by Monday.
But off the backboard there from Harris after a highlight reel of hustle.
And there's another one.
So Teddy runs the floor. Harris tries again from the corner, and this time he got it.
You can see the confidence in J.J. Harris. You see how quickly he lets some of those shots fly from the outside.
He loves to let it fly.
Loves those angles as well.
J.J. sharpshooter from Florida. Now watching Lloyd up the court. That shot was blocked. Bayi on it. 20 seconds left. This is a night that GCU has owned, but Harris misses the 3, and that'll do it. Bryce Drew brings his team into town, and Coach Drew picks up his 200th win as a head coach. Grand Canyon's got 10 conference wins, and the defending